Okay, GravCon kids, here we go. We've discussed a lot about photography so far, talked about cameras, lenses, apertures, ISO, shutter speed, all these variables that we use to get our lighting conditions correct to take some amazing photos, whether they be film-based photos or digital photos. In this case, today we're talking about the film that I gave you to shoot your project with. Hopefully you've taken that film, taken one of our cameras or one of your cameras, and shot some amazing content. Our next step is to take this roll of film and to develop it. We're not sending it to Costco or Walmart or someplace like that. You are going to be developing your own roll of film. So one of the things that we need to do is to get the film out of this small, light, tight film container and get it into a light, tight development tank. So let's take a look at the development tank. Really a bit of brilliant engineering. The first part of it is our lid. Our lid serves as the top of the development tank, but also serves as a funnel, because at the end of this experience, we're going to add liquid chemicals into this tank to develop the film. So this is the lid, and we're going to put it right down here on the work table. Okay, right there. And swing this back a bit. There we go. Cool. So we have the lid. We're going to look at the tank, and we're going to position the tank right here next to the lid. These white cylindrical objects are called film reels, R-E-E-L, like a fishing reel or reel-to-reel tape. We are going to be weaving the film onto the development reel so the emulsion will not be in contact with each other when the film is developed, to prevent the emulsion from sticking together. So we have two reels in this particular setup. If you have two rolls of film or you're working with a partner. We have an axle, which again is a bit of the brilliant development tank engineering. It looks like a simple plastic tube, but it does a lot of really cool things. So we're going to position that in place next to our development tank. Next, we have the roll of film itself, and then some tools that we use to pry open the little container of film. What's been working really well for us these days is a simple Yeti bottle opener. So we're going to place that right in line with the rest of our materials, and we are going to need a simple pair of scissors. So, in a row, just want to make sure you can see everything. Cool. All right. We have the roll of film, the bottle opener, the scissors, the development reels, the axle, the tank, and the lid. We are setting things up from left to right, my left to right, in a row, in an order. In our photographic experience, our photography experience, we're going to be working with a left to right kind of workflow for a lot of steps of this process. Today's process, we're working left to right. When we use the chemistry, we'll be going from left to right in order to pour the chemistry into the tank to develop it. When we get into our darkroom is set up left to right, enlargers to the left, development pans to the right, and so on. So we're going to set up our materials left to right. Okay, so then we're going to take the film. We're going to get started. We're going to take the roll of film, and either end, it doesn't matter. Some people find this a little difficult, but you're just going to take the bottle opener and you're just going to put it underneath the lip, just underneath the lip of the film canister, and you're literally going to tear it off, just like opening a bottle of pop. Just getting it up under there, tearing that off, and then we're going to simply remove the raw film from the container, and we're going to draw out the film. Now, we talked about light sensitive materials in our earlier discussions of screen printing. Remember, light-sensitive materials have got two parts, an emulsion and a base. That is also true with photography film. The shiny side is the base, the dull side is the emulsion. This end of the film that's got this kind of irregular cutout, that is the part of the film that you will feed into your camera when you're initially loading it into the camera. That's called the tongue of the film, like the tongue that's in your head, the tongue of the film. The other end of the roll of film is a set of plastic wheels that are kind of taped to the end of that. And it's manufactured that way. It's manufactured that way. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our scissors and we're going to trim off that set of wheels. Snip. So now we have our roll of film, tongue end on one side, flat side that we just created by cutting, and we are ready to weave it onto the development reel. Now, it's impossible to do this, but you really want to try to keep your fingers off of the emulsion. Everyone's got natural oils in their skin. You know, you're not going to be able to avoid it completely, but try to handle it by the shiny or base side whenever possible. What you certainly don't want to do is make a big greasy thumbprint in a section of your emulsion like I'm doing here, because that will be translated onto whatever image you captured in that particular portion of the film. Okay, so now we're going to take development reel. Does it matter which? Okay, great. What you're going to look for are right here, that you've got these two triangular tabs that stick out. And there's a little tiny BB or ball bearing right there on either side. So you're going to feel for the triangular tabs. What you're going to do is you're going to weave the flat side of the film underneath the triangular tabs, pulling it so it's just past the little ball bearings or the little BBs. And then you're going to work one side of the wheel away from you, one side of the reel towards you, using your thumbs and fingertips to gently guide the film onto the development reel. And voila. So we have successfully woven the film, the raw film, onto the development reel. From here, we are going to put it on the axle, force it all the way down onto the axle. If you're working with a partner or a second roll of film, you put the second reel on there, and then you take the whole system and put it into the development tank. So it's inside the development tank. Next, we will take the lid / funnel and we will put it into the tank, and we are going to twist it to lock it. We're going to grab the lip of the lid with one hand underneath and just double check that that lid is locked and loaded and it is secure. Now, every move I just demonstrated, from cracking the little film canister open to locking the lid of the development tank, that all has to be done in complete darkness. No red safe light, no white light like I'm demonstrating under now. Black, the void, the bottom of the ocean. You will not see anything. You will not see your hand in front of your face when doing this. How will I do this? You may be asking yourself. There will be practice materials set up out here in the general shop, and you will be doing this, practicing it so you can literally do it with your eyes closed. So that when you get into the dark room, you can set up your materials in a very methodical way, left to right, and do what you need to do to get the film out of that little canister into the development tank. Remember, it is light tight from here to here. if anywhere in between it's exposed to any type of light, the film is destroyed. So we need to be very careful when we do this, and you need to practice it, because this is a situation where I'm not going to be able to come in and make the save. You're going to be needing to do this on your own. Okay, so it's like, oh, Mr. Flake, what do I do next? That's not the time to ask. The idea is that you've practiced in advance, you're comfortable, and you're ready to do this. Once you've done it a few times, it's not as hard as you think, and you'll have success. I will make sure that you have success.